I'm Asher Brennan, and I've been slinging plates at Meridian Heights for 3 years because the tips pay for Lyra's asthma medication and our rent. Table 7 needs water refills, Asher, Dion called from the bar, nodding toward the corner booth where Garrett Voss sat with 2 men in expensive suits. I grabbed the pitcher. Got it. Garrett looked up when I approached. Finally, I've been parched for 5 minutes. My apologies, sir. We're short-staffed tonight. I filled his glass, then moved to his companions. Short-staffed, Garrett repeated to the men. Translation, they hire people who can't manage basic service. He smiled at me. What's your story? Failed actor? Musician who can't catch a break? Just working, sir. He's probably got a screenplay in his locker, Garrett said, and the other men chuckled. They all do, right, buddy? What's your big dream? Taking care of my daughter. A kid? Garrett's eyebrows rose. So you're what, mid-30s? Waiting tables with a dependent? Where's the mother? Can I get you anything else? Answer the question. I'm curious. Where's Mom? One of the suited men cleared his throat. Garrett. No, I'm genuinely interested in his life choices, Garrett interrupted. Because I'm sitting here wondering what series of decisions leads a grown man to this point. So where is she? She passed away 4 years ago. The table went quiet for exactly 3 seconds. Well, that's unfortunate, Garrett said. But surely there was life insurance? Family support? Something other than, he gestured at my uniform. This? I'll bring your appetizers shortly. I turned away. Hey, his voice sharpened. I wasn't finished talking. I stopped, but didn't turn around. Look at me when I'm speaking to you. I faced him. You know what your problem is? Garrett leaned back. You think showing up is enough. That working hard at something beneath you somehow makes you noble. It doesn't. It makes you someone who's settled. He pulled out his phone. My daughter is 15. Private school, equestrian competitions, fluent in 3 languages. You know why? Because I built something instead of making excuses. Your appetizers will be right out, sir. Don't walk away from me again. Paulina appeared beside me. Is everything all right, Mr. Voss? Your waiter here seems to think customer service is optional. I apologize. Asher is one of our best, but I'll personally handle your table tonight. Paulina touched my elbow. Why don't you take your break? I went to the storage room and counted to 60. Dion found me 10 minutes later. Paulina's pissed. Voss complained that you were rude. He asked about Lyra's mother. Jesus. Still, you know how Paulina is about him. He drops $3,000 every visit. I need this job, Dion. I know, man. Just keep your head down. I worked the rest of my shift avoiding table 7. At midnight, I found Garrett's receipt. The bill was $2,800. The tip line had a 0 with a circle around it. Below it, he'd written, "Try harder." Paulina was counting the register. Asher, we need to talk. I didn't do anything wrong. Mr. Voss is a valued guest. When he speaks to you, you engage respectfully. She didn't look up. He mentioned you seemed hostile. He asked invasive personal questions. He's friendly. He networks. That's how successful people operate. Now she looked at me. We accommodate our high-value clients. Even when they're degrading? He tipped Marcus 40% last month. I held up the receipt. $0, Paulina. After he spent an hour asking about my dead wife. Then maybe reflect on what you did to earn that. She closed the register. One more complaint from Mr. Voss, and I'll have to let you go. I drove home, and Mrs. Huang from next door was on my couch. Lyra's asleep. She used her inhaler around 9. Thank you. I paid her $40 from my tips. That girl adores you. I checked on Lyra, then fell asleep on the couch with my work shoes still on. Garrett came back 4 days later. "Asher's table," Paulina announced. I approached with water and menus. "Good evening, Mr. Voss." "Brennan, right? That's your last name?" He was alone this time. "Yes, sir." "Irish?" "I believe so, sir." "My mother was Irish. Tough people. So why aren't you tougher?" He opened the menu. "I've been thinking about our conversation. You said you're taking care of your daughter. How old?" "9, sir." "And the asthma situation is expensive?" My stomach dropped. "I'll give you a moment with the menu." "No, stay. I'm curious." He set the menu down. "Because I did some thinking, and here's what I realized. You're mad at me for stating facts. Your situation is unfortunate, but you're choosing to stay unfortunate instead of improving it." "I'm working on improvement, sir." "By waiting tables?" he laughed. "Asher, I started with nothing. Absolutely nothing. I borrowed, I risked, I built. Now I have 14 restaurants, 6 properties, a boat. You know why?" "Why, sir?" "Because I refused to be a victim of my circumstances." He leaned forward. "Your daughter watching you scrape by, seeing her dad exhausted and broke, what's that teaching her?" "That I show up for her every day. That mediocrity is acceptable." He pulled out his wallet. "Tell you what, I'm going to help you." He placed a $100 bill on the table. "I don't understand." "That's for your daughter's medication. Not because I pity you, because I want you to think about something. This $100 took me 3 minutes to earn this morning. 3 minutes. How long did it take you?" "Mr. Voss." "How long, Asher?" "About 6 hours." "Right. 6 hours of your life for what I make in 3 minutes. And instead of being angry at me for pointing that out, you should be angry at yourself for accepting it." He pushed the bill closer. "Take it. Buy her medicine. Then ask yourself if you want to spend the next 10 years doing this." I left the money on the table. "I'll take your order when you're ready, sir." His expression hardened. "Pick it up." "I'd rather not, sir." "I'm trying to help you." "I don't need that kind of help." Pride. That's your real problem. Too proud to accept reality. He put the money back. "Bring me the duck and a scotch. Neat." I put his order in and avoided his section. Marcus delivered his food. Garrett stayed 2 hours. His bill was $94. He left 12 cents. Paulina called me to her office. "He's requested you be removed from his service permanently." "Fine by me." "It's not fine, Asher. He's talking about taking his business elsewhere." Her voice rose. "He brings clients here twice a week. That's 10,000 monthly revenue walking out because you can't handle basic interaction." "He's harassing me, Paulina." "He's being friendly, and you're being sensitive." She rubbed her temples. "I'm suspending you for a week. Unpaid. Use that time to decide if you can handle this job professionally." "I have rent due in 6 days." "Then you should have thought about that before alienating our best customer." I walked out and sat in my car, staring at the missed call from Lyra's school nurse. The voicemail played. "Mr. Brennan, Lyra had an episode in gym class. We used the emergency inhaler, but we need you to bring a replacement tomorrow. Also, your payment for this month's medication pickup is overdue." I drove to the pharmacy. The bill was $340. My checking account had $187. "Can I pay half now?" I asked the pharmacist. "We need the full amount, sir. It's been over 30 days. "I'll have it in a week. Please, my daughter needs it." The pharmacist looked pained. I'm sorry. I can't release it without payment. Talk to the manager tomorrow. I went home and explained to Lyra that her medicine would be delayed. It's okay, Dad. She was doing homework. I feel fine. Is money tight again? Don't worry about that. She studied me with eyes too knowing for 9. That man at your restaurant is mean to you. What man? The one you told Dion about. I heard you on the phone. Adults have disagreements sometimes. He made you sad. I knelt beside her chair. You know what makes me happy? Coming home to you every single night. Everything else is just noise. She hugged me, her small arms fierce around my neck. The next morning, Lyra had an attack at school. The nurse called an ambulance. I met them at the emergency room, where a doctor asked why she didn't have her maintenance medication. There was a delay, I said. Mr. Brennan, these delays are dangerous. This is her 3rd ER visit in 4 months. If this pattern continues, we'll have to file a report with Child Services. The words hit like cold water. A report? It's protocol when a child's medical needs aren't being consistently met. I understand finances are difficult, but there are assistance programs. I'm handling it. Are you? Because from here it looks like you're not. They kept Lyra for observation. I sat beside her bed while she slept. My phone buzzed. Dion. Voss just walked in with 8 people. Paulina's freaking out that you're not here. I silenced it. 10 minutes later. She's threatening to fire you if you don't explain your absence. I texted back. Lyra's in the hospital. Shit, man, I'm sorry. Lyra woke up around 3. Where are we? Hospital, baby. You're okay. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. None of this is your fault. A social worker came by before discharge. Her name was Ellen Kurtz. Mr. Brennan, I need to ask some questions about Lyra's home environment. We're fine. Her records show irregular medication access, multiple emergency interventions, and gaps in preventive care. I'm required to document this. I work full-time. I pay for everything. We have a home. She's fed, clothed, and loved. I'm doing everything right except being rich enough. I'm not making accusations. I'm gathering information. She made notes. Where do you work? Meridian Heights. I'm a waiter. And your income is sufficient for her needs? Usually. Usually isn't a medical standard, Mr. Brennan. She closed the folder. I'm not taking any action today, but if this pattern continues, the state will intervene. Get her medication situation stabilized today. After she left, I called the restaurant. Paulina answered on the first ring. Where the hell are you? My daughter was in the emergency room. And you couldn't call? Text? Her anger cut through the phone. Garrett Voss brought a party of 8. They waited 40 minutes because we were short. He left. Asher, he's done with us. He's moving his business to Hartwell. My daughter couldn't breathe, Paulina. And I have a business that can't function when staff disappears. Her voice dropped. You're fired. Clean out your locker tomorrow. The line went dead. Dion called that evening. She really fired you? Yeah. What are you going to do? Find something else. Listen, I asked around. Voss is telling people at other restaurants not to hire you. Says you're unreliable and hostile. He's what? He's connected, man. He's friends with half the owners in the city. I heard him telling someone at Hartwell you'd probably apply there and to watch out. I spent the next week applying everywhere. Coffee shops, retail, bar backing. Every restaurant either didn't call back or said the position was filled. On day 9, I ran into Simone Thatch, one of the suited men who'd been at Garrett's table that first night. You're Asher, right? From Meridian? Yeah. I was dining with Garrett Voss a couple weeks ago. He ordered his coffee, then turned back. Listen, I felt terrible about how he spoke to you. That wasn't okay. It's fine. It's not fine. Garrett does that. Acts like his success gives him the right to humiliate people. Simone lowered his voice. Can I tell you something? Sure. His new restaurant venture, the one he's been bragging about, it's collapsing. He's leveraged everything, and the investors are pulling out because word got around about how he treats people. Turns out, reputation matters. Why are you telling me this? Because you should know he's not untouchable. He's drowning, and people are noticing what kind of person he is. I got a job 3 weeks later at a catering company. The pay was worse, but they didn't ask for references. Lyra's medication got back on track through a state assistance program Ellen Kurtz helped me access. One Saturday, I was working a corporate event when I saw Garrett across the room. He was thinner, less polished, talking to an older couple and smiling too hard. Dion texted me that night. Voss sold his boat. Meridian dropped him as a preferred client after he bounced a check. 2 months later, Garrett showed up at a wedding I was serving. He was a guest seated near the back. When I walked past with champagne, he grabbed my arm. Asher Brennan. Mr. Voss. I owe you an apology. His grip loosened. I was going through some things, made bad choices, said things I shouldn't have. I've been doing a lot of reflecting. Your champagne is on the left side of the room, sir. I'm serious. What I said about your daughter, your situation, I was wrong, completely wrong. He looked genuinely distressed. I lost perspective. I'd like to make it right. Maybe help you get back to Meridian? I still have some connections. I looked at him, this man who'd mocked my daughter, cost me my job, and nearly cost me custody, now asking for absolution because his own world had crumbled. No. No? I don't accept your apology. I don't want your help. I don't want anything from you. I stepped back. Enjoy the wedding, sir. His face flushed. You're really going to hold a grudge? After I'm trying to make amends? I'm not holding a grudge, Mr. Voss. I'm just choosing not to forget who you showed me you were when you had power. I gestured to the champagne. It's complimentary. I walked away and finished my shift. 3 months later, Lyra and I moved into a better place. The catering company promoted me to event coordinator. We weren't rich, but we were stable. I never saw Garrett again, but Dion told me he left the city after his restaurants failed. Lyra asked me once if I ever got even with the mean man. No, baby. I just stopped letting him matter. She thought about that. Did he ever stop being mean? I looked at my daughter, healthy and safe and loved, and realized I didn't actually care what Garrett Voss became after he stopped affecting our lives. But here's what I still think about sometimes when I'm serving people who think their money makes them superior. If someone powerful apologizes only after they lose their power, did they really learn anything? Or did they just learn what it feels like to need grace they never gave?